So part of this inner critic that we're dealing with as artists is the whole idea of how do we manage that inner critic? And one of the things that I like to do is share with people ways to manage it, the negativity, deal with things like this. So one was the affirmation I was talking to you about. Another one is recognizing that we need to sort of practice this thing I call selfing. And so for me, selfing is all about spending enough time alone to do what you feel like doing. You know, it's things like being willing to change your list of to-dos today and be irresponsible, maybe even, you know, like, because one of the biggest things about doing art is what I find is everybody looks at it as very frivolous, right? It's sort of like there's this, people stop and they can appreciate it and they enjoy it, but they don't recognize the importance to the artist of actually being able to get in that space and actually do that kind of work.
Right.
Because it's very freeing for the individual to actually paint and draw and do things, right? And because we have a lot of self-talk and inner critic that shows up, especially for people who think, I can't draw, I can't paint, I can't do any of that stuff, right? So what tends to happen is those people are, you know, they're letting their inner critic take over, and they're not practicing this thing I call selfing, in terms of going, well, the heck with it, I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway because it makes me feel good, right? And so it's about clearing some time in your calendar to do what I call selfing endeavors. You know, it's like the day that you decide today is my day and I'm going to do something that feeds my soul.
Right.
Right. So for some, you know, sometimes it's not always about painting. Like, I see creativity as lots of different ways that we can express it. We can express our creativity through cooking. We can express it through how we decorate a house. My husband's an engineer. You know, he expresses his creativity in the process of what he creates from a mechanical point of view, right?
Yeah. I spend a lot of time at Christmas time to decorate. My wife thinks I overdo it, but lots of time I don't have enough time to put up everything because I start too late. But I just get a thrill out of doing it.
Yeah. That's it's the thrill of it, right? Yeah, it's just like, this is fun. This is me expressing myself. This is, you know, this is authentic self-expression is what it is, right? Exactly. And so, you know, think about it in terms of promoting that. You know, promote it for others, because if you want it for you, you promote it with others, they're more inclined to do it too, right? And then it's okay for you to do it, especially within the family, I find. Another way to get past these inner critics is starting a positive obsession. So I love the idea of a positive obsession. It's like, find a project where you can fall in love with it, like generating something, right? So I remember my husband used to talk about projects all the time as an engineer, right? He wanted to make a windmill. He wanted to, he created some kind of crazy contraption that tows you underwater, because he was a scuba diver and he wanted a towing device. That was his project when he graduated, in his final project for school. But it's finding something that you find fascinating and intriguing, something that you think will excite you, to create a positive obsession around. When you do that, what tends to happen is other people kind of get caught up in your obsession as well, in certain ways, and they're just sort of like watching you, because, I mean, you're alive when you get caught up in your positive obsession. You know, it really brings you life.
This is at my best right now.
Yeah, that's just it. You know, like it allows you. It's a kind of project that you'll let yourself lose sleep over. Like, I have days where I'm in the middle of a project and I will be. I'll go to bed at night with it on my mind, and I'll wake up in the morning with it on my mind. You know, I mean, I love those kinds of projects because that's the positive obsession coming out. You know, and when I'm sleeping on it, problems get solved in sleep even. Like, it's amazing. You know, you go to bed and you're sitting there going, I wonder how I'm going to resolve that. You know, and I'm thinking about this painting I'm doing, and I'm trying to figure out how to resolve it. And I'll kind of go a stage where I'll say, okay, I'm just going to let that go. And I'm going to go, okay, universe, give me the answers while I sleep, please. Okay? And I'll fall asleep. And then I'll wake up in the morning, and within a couple hours waking up, usually the answer's there. I love that. It's a wonderful way, because actually it's a biological thing. It's not, it sounds all airy-fairy woo stuff, right? But it's actually biologically true. They understand that our brain actually does continue to function and work while we sleep. So in the process of sleeping, there's a piece of your brain that's actually working on the problem. And that's why in the morning you actually figure it out. So it's a great way to solve problems, I find, because you're not putting pressure on yourself. You actually got your subconscious mind doing the work, and because your subconscious mind's doing the work, your inner critic's not getting in the way. So it actually works really effectively.
Right.
And then there's also what I call 1 minute centering. So it's about, you know, as you go into a project, and if you're feeling a little bit anxious about the project because you're not sure if you can pull it off, what I find is if I center myself with, there's just, it's a little bit like an affirmation, but it's a positive intention. It's basically, you know, bring yourself to center by taking a few deep breaths and just relaxing yourself. And then you go, okay, I am completely stopping. I'm expecting nothing. I am going to do this. And you can fill in a blank with your intention in terms of what you're going to do. I trust my resources. I embrace the moment. And I will return with strength, and I'm beginning now. And as you step into it, you're actually stronger. You actually have tapped into your own resources, and you're ready to go. So I find that really works in terms of getting past that inner critic.
Yeah.
There's one more thing. The fifth one is recognizing that your inner critic tends to take things personally. So don't take anything personally. That's actually one of the 4 agreements. If you've ever heard of, oh darn, I forget the author, Miguel, sorry, it'll come to me eventually.